Stairwells are never easy to do. Very, very difficult. But I've got a technique that I use and it works out pretty well. And I'm going to pass it on to you. This little device here is a lifesaver when it comes to painting a stairwell. This is called a pivot ladder tool by Provision Tools. Okay, you can see that I've got everything taped off. I've got the walls prepped, sanded. And now it's time to do the hardest part, which is cut in down this slope here, jump over, come up this one in a stairwell. Well, thank you for coming to the channel. That's LAF space Film Fest, capital LAF space Film Fest. Yeah, this is a challenge to try to cut these lines in. Once you get it all cut in, it's basically just rolling like normal, except you do have an angle that's coming down and an angle down here at the bottom. So you do have to pay attention to those. Besides that, it's just another wall to be rode. Of course, you are working on a stairway, which you have to move slow and carefully. It's very easy to get your feet caught up in these drop cloths and go tumbling down. What's important is your drop cloths are laid down on the stairs and they're tight. They're not loose. They don't have places that'll catch your feet and trip you. That's real important. It's always good to use a safety cloth, and I'll show you one of those in a little bit, but they have a tendency to grip a lot better than just a regular slick drop cloth. This is the only way I really know how to do one. Okay, so here is ladder tool, the pivot ladder tool. We'll sit down on one step. It's bypassing this step, and then the legs will sit down on there. And it's got some pretty grippy feet on it, on top and bottom. Of course, it's important that your drop cloths are fit as tight as possible. And I know this looks a little crazy. I have used this tool. It has never failed. So that's how you do it. You get your ladder set up. Just like that right there. And believe it or not, it's a pretty good system. I have used it for a couple decades anyways. But that gets me up there so I can trim that out. And what I'll do is I'll try to reach across and I'll trim out both sides at the same time. That'll keep me from moving my ladder twice. Here's another good idea. Put you some nice terry cloth rags on there and that'll keep you from scuffing up your wall. Now I use a bucket and I've got one of these little chain hooks on it, and that way I can hang it from my ladder. I'm not holding on to anything. I use a 2-inch brush. This happens to be a Worcester 2-inch with a beveled edge on it. I can't stress enough to move nice and slow. Always have a little scraper in my pocket. Got a couple runs that the painter before me had put on there. Always want to test out your ladder tool. Make sure it feels pretty solid before you put your ladder on it. painting, you got to do this twice. So I've got to come back over here. Once I roll it, cut it in again. But you should always give a paint project 2 coats. Just got to be careful. Go slow. You always want to put it against this wall, the opposite wall that you're starting to paint. You kind of see how that foot rests on there. I've had it for at least a couple decades, and it holds up well, and it is the ticket to painting a stairwell. I don't know, I guess you could have a ladder with extendable legs. That'd be another way to do it. Whoops, hit my camera. It happens. Okay, almost done with my first cut in. I do appreciate you coming to the channel. I hope this little tip helps. If it does, hit that like button. Subscribe if you like. Got a lot of informative videos out there. A lot of them have to do with painting. Always have your brush in your hand, so as soon as you put that can down, you're ready to wipe the drips off, so they don't go down and hit the floor. Always want to have good ventilation in a stairway. Okay, got my brush all cleaned up. I usually try to clean my brush every hour. People think that's crazy, but that'll keep the paint from drying. The paint will start to dry up high. From here on toward the brush handle, it'll start to dry in that area. So if you wash it out every hour or so, it keeps your brush looking good and it keeps it functioning like it should. How to set a drop cloth on a stairwell like this. Because if you don't know how to do it, there's a certain technique. You want these drop cloths to sit tight. When I'm rolling these walls, you're going up and down, up and down, up and down the stairs, and you're watching what you're rolling, and you're not necessarily watching your feet. But you want to make sure you don't have any tripping hazards or anything out there that's going to cause you a real big problem. So this is how I put a drop cloth on some stairs. Let me just take this one loose right here. So the first thing I will do, I'll take it and I'll lay it out just flat. And then I come back down, and be careful when you're coming back down because this is a tripping hazard. I kind of open it up, make sure the side I want is against the wall. It's just laid out flat right here. Push the first section against the riser on the step. You have a step and you have a riser. So I push it against the riser. Then I get up on my knees and I push my knees up against the riser, and then I fold the next stair down, fold the drop cloth down, and then I inch my way up to that one. I hold it with my knees, I stretch it out, make sure it's following the wall, make sure it's going up straight. I push it in, tuck it in that crease where the step meets the riser. Step meets the riser. I push it in there, crawl up, lock it in with my knees, and just continue to repeat the process. These are the best drop cloths that I have found to use. They work great on carpet, even better on hardwood floors, concrete floors, tile floors. The secret behind this drop cloth is these little rubber tabs on here. And I mean, they stick good. So when you're working on a house, you don't want to slip, or you don't want somebody else to walk by and slip on your drop cloths. I highly recommend them. Very, very good. Cover grip safety cloth. Anywhere between $22 and $25 is what you'll find them. They come in a 3-foot length by, I'm guessing, about 12 feet. Yeah, so that same guy that talks to the crows knows how to paint too. there we go. Not bad to row. Just be careful. Don't hit the ceiling. Can't stress that enough. Hit the ceiling, you're in trouble. Now you gotta paint your ceiling. I don't know if you noticed, but I've got my tool here. It is a Mr. Long Arm. It is an adjustable roller handle. Pretty nice. Adjust way out, probably from 6 feet to 3 feet. I can't stress enough too. Buy good tools. You can't have tools malfunctioning on the job. No way. It just never works. All right, I'm gonna roll the rest of these walls up here. Then I gotta turn around, give it a second coat, and be good. So I hope this helps. Hey, it's easy to paint, you know? Just take your time and be neat about it. Everything from your drop cloths, to your ladders, to your brushes, to your paint cans. I don't see that, but hey, I don't know. And my camera dropped off. You know, sometimes it's just one of them days. Well, that's it for today. I hope those tips help. If you're going to work on that stairwell, just be careful. Move slow. And if you're not sure, I would hire it out. Just because it's one of those painting projects that, yeah, you're going to save a little bit of money by doing it yourself. But you know what? If you slip and fall, it's not going to be good. If you decide to do it, just take your time. You may come out with a pretty good. So I appreciate you coming to the channel. That's LAF Space Film Fest. Capital LAF Space Film Fest. And so you have a good